It's a beautiful day today, and over here we have the CBF600. Alright, let's get on this thing, turn it on, and let's get going. Sounds nice. So I have been with this bike for a week already. This will be the last day that I'll be on this machine, and I've put quite a lot of miles on it. I've been to Avebury Hinge as far as Stonehenge and back twice. Windsor Castle, lots of miles on this thing within a span of 7 days. To be honest, the first bike I got, the first CBF600 that I got from the rental wasn't so good. I had a very bad experience because of tire puncture, but that's not the fault of the bike. That's just things happen. So yeah, this bike has been actually a very good machine, to be honest. It's got, you know, those very old traditional dials, speedometer. It's got miles per hour and kilometers per hour on this thing, and odometer. And then this too goes to the trip, and of course you can hold to trip the meter twice. This thing's got ABS as well. 600cc or close to it. Anyway, fuel injected machine, very nice. This thing is, I don't know, it's supposed to be light. In actual fact it's not, at least not for somebody my size, but it is light. The fuel injection plus, you know, the way the engine is set up plus its weight, this thing is actually very fuel efficient. It goes quite far on a full tank of gas. I went to Stonehenge from northeast London on just half a tank of gas, or slightly a bit more than half a tank of gas. So this thing actually goes quite far. Now I'm heading on the motorway. I'm going to go to the Ace Cafe. Since my last day, I want to go look at the other bikes there. So on the motorway, you know, this thing is really good. It's not a speed demon, it's not a bike, but it does get its job done on the motorway. It's got just enough power to get you started from the roadside. If you ever stop on the roadside, up to speed on the motorway to 80 to 100 kilometers in a snap. Very good torque, just enough. It won't kill you, it won't throw you off the bike, but just enough to get you up to the speed along with the rest of the traffic. This thing also goes pretty fast, faster than anything I've been on. I've been on this bike up to 180 kilometers per hour on the M4, but I think if you struggle a bit, it might reach up to 200 kilometers per hour. But by 180, most of the time it's just shaking a lot, and you can't really control it very well. The front fairing does help to alleviate the wind fatigue, you know, that blasts you on the highway, but it's not great. Your posture is a comfortable upright position, so the fairing does blow some of the wind into your face because you're not crouched down behind it like you would on most sport bikes, but it does its job. It's also got oh yeah, I mentioned it that did have ABS. This thing has very good brakes. 2 disc brakes, front and back. You know, the British traffic does tend to start and stop very suddenly, so the brakes really are very good. You just need to hold on it tightly and it just gradually comes to a stop. In a sense, this whole bike is pretty much just one efficient package. It's just there to be a workhorse. It's not a speed demon. I wouldn't take it to a track, and it's something I would use if I want to go on some short, lighter touring trips like the one I'm on right now. It won't go far though, because on a longer trip, honestly speaking, my butt does hurt. On the way to Stonehenge, my ass is already hurting because it isn't exactly a gold wing. This thing's got really huge tires that I also like. Yeah, I think it's quite a nimble bike despite the size. Well, I mean, look, despite the kind of girth I have on this thing, I can easily, you know, filter between traffic at a stoplight. Sometimes in slow traffic I'm confident of doing it as well. So that goes to show how nimble the bike actually is. You can actually maneuver it quite well in traffic. That, you know, if I were riding a gold wing or something like that, I wouldn't dare to do. This bike is also pretty easy. The gearing is quite standard. It's not long, it's not short, it's just nice. Within the first day, about 2 hours, that's all I needed to learn how to operate the bike. The throttle isn't that sensitive, maybe a bit at the start, but you know, it's not gonna jerk you if you pull on the throttle a bit more than usual. So I would say not only is it a good touring bike, a good workhorse, but if you're in a country that allows a bigger bike, you know, this machine could actually also be a good beginner bike as well. You could easily learn how to ride a motorcycle on this, although if you're a smaller person, it's not that recommended because it does take a bit of strength to get it on the main stand, to pull it up, to push it. The only thing I have to say about this bike, you know, against it, is that I think it's pretty boring. I'll get to it later, but first of all, what makes it boring is obviously the aesthetics. It is nothing great. 2009 Fat CBF600 is meh. I like bikes that are a bit more aggressive, like the RC390, or maybe a bit more fun looking, like the DRZ 400SM, or maybe even, you know, very powerful looking bikes like the VMAX, a cruiser. This is none of it. Is plain, but it does its job very well as a workhorse, getting you from place to place. I kind of like the mirrors that it comes with too. The mirrors, you can see, I bet that even on camera you're probably gonna be able to see quite a lot of things behind me. The camera, I mean, the mirrors are very huge and they are very wide. I think they are almost the same size as, you know, most of the car mirrors, wing mirrors that they have here. I mean, it's about the same size as that Alfa Romero over there. This thing also has a clock right under the tackle. You see right there, it's 10 AM. So not only is it you know, fuel efficient with a comfortable seating posture. There's a clock there to help you keep time, especially if you're traveling a long distance. Sometimes you might want to make it to a particular location or checkpoint at a certain timing, and this helps you, you know, keep track of time without having your eyes avert too far away from your own dashboard or the front, you know, so that you don't have to wear a watch and look up on your hand when that arm should be on the controls when you're barreling down the highway or the motorway or the expressway at 160. I think it's about time I tried to get past the traffic. So here you're gonna see how within 7 days I've mastered the art of lane splitting in British traffic, a country that I've never been to before, on a bike that I've never ridden before. See, it's really easy to do it. It may be a big bike, but I think the side profile, you know, from your left to right, it isn't very huge. The handlebars are pretty short, so as long as you keep your wing mirrors between the two cars in front of you, you should be able to make it. Although I don't know if it's just me or if it's the machine, but sometimes I do find it a bit difficult to find neutral on this bike, or it could just be old. But whenever I'm stopped at the traffic light and I want to find neutral, it just eludes me. I always kick too far into one or kick too far into two. It just never hits neutral until like maybe a few tries. You know, so I've been like pretty much in stop and go traffic for like almost the past few minutes, I think 10-20 minutes. And the good thing about having a bike like this is the clutch is pretty light. I wouldn't say it's extremely heavy. It's not light, it's not heavy, it's somewhere in between. Well, I mean, I've tried to, you know, operate the clutches, you know, for a short while on R6s and CBR600S that my friends have. They are a lot easier, I guess, but once you start going to stuff like the Hayabusa, those are heavy clutches. So comparatively speaking, well, of course this is no Hayabusa, but this is actually an easy clutch to use, so it's not an issue if you are a new rider or don't have much strength in your left hand. This thing, I'm not sure if this is stop, but this thing also has what do you call it, stop, you know, when you have your left and right turn signals, emergency stop signals or whatever they call it wherever you are. So it has it included, which is very good, because the way I see it, this bike is for long range. You're gonna probably end up, you know, in a situation where you need to stop by the roadside, and you know, you might be in trouble. You need to stop by the roadside and get help. So the, you know, this thing is just like a warning, or probably like you got a flat tire or whatever is gone wrong. You just need to hit the switch. The usual, the same as you would with a car, is a good thing to have. May not be necessary. Wanker. I think I'm almost there. It's somewhere just behind over there, I guess. So I'm like here at the S Cafe, where I'm gonna see the legendary, you know, cafe that my friend told me about. I don't think it's open yet, but I'm just gonna sit here and take a look. It's early in the morning, nobody's gonna be here that early. So that's all for this bike. I'll probably do another shot with my phone about on the X1, because I'm not sure if I can describe this one very well. But here you have it, a 2009 CBF600 from Honda. and I'll see you next time. Hope you enjoyed this review, and do like and subscribe to this video, and I'll see you next time. I'll have to return this bike soon, and peace out guys.